Hey guys, season 2, episode 3 of Darker with Daniel, coming to you from Rockmail Industries. Let's get it started. Man, what a week. Oh my God. Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm all right.
Yeah?
I'll make it.
Me too. Alan?
No, I'm tired, man. I'm so tired. I've been working so much.
Dude, I know. Me too. Just like, and all the stuff we've been doing with this, it's just, I don't know, every day it's just another struggle.
Every day a new story.
Yeah, basically. And it's like, it sucks because like you're so tired, but at the same time you're so busy you can't sleep. Like, oh, dude, I was tossing and turning so much last night. I was so bored. I put on a documentary on Netflix called Behind the Curve.
I don't know if I've heard it.
It's a fucking documentary about flat earthers. And
Oh, good.
I'll be honest, there was like points where I couldn't even tell if it was a parody or not. Like, because they're
All right, elaborate. Because like, how do you make a parody of flat earthing?
Well, all right, so like
It's like a parody already.
I know. Like, all right, so the part that like, all right, first off to like put out there that made it super confusing is that these people that were like talking and stuff were so fucking stupid, and then the people that filmed it seemed like they were not believers of it at all.
Okay.
Which you would think that
They would hire like a crew that would kind of like film them in a way that would reinforce whatever they're saying or acting.
Exactly, but like there's even a point.
Emphasis on acting.
Exactly, and like there was a point even where, I guess one of like the main guys they were interviewing or whatever and some girl went to the NASA station in Houston, and they were, I guess, trying out all the different stuff. I don't know, I was half asleep, but so this guy's like on this. It's supposed to be like a mock,
Like a simulator type
yeah,
thing?
like a simulator thing,
Okay.
I guess. And basically, he's like looking upward at a screen, and it's got like a green start button. And it says press start to start experience because it was like a what do you call it? A simulator.
Simulator, yeah.
And this guy's just like sitting there like poking the button. He's like, oh, it's supposed to be state of the art, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't even fucking work. And he's like laughing at them, making fun of it. And then they both walk away. And then the camera guy pans down to the armrest of the chair.
Yeah.
And the exact same green start button that was on the screen is just on the arm. Like you
The
press
actual button.
The actual button.
So it was the screen was prompting him to push that button.
Yeah, it wasn't
but
a
he's
fucking
trying
touchscreen.
to push the screen.
And he's like,
Wow.
oh, look at these fucking idiots.
What
He's-
the fuck?
I'm like, what the fuck? And that's the part that like confuses you. You're like, is it a parody? Because the camera guy just immediately, as soon as the guy gets up, pans down to the start button.
It's like they got the film crew from The Office.
Yeah, honestly, like at some
That's
point
what it
it kind of
sounds
seemed
like.
like that. It was, but I don't know. I fell asleep like halfway through it, but just the stuff that they believe. Like, how much do you know about flat earthers and stuff?
I
Like,
mean, so
I don't really know much. Like I said, I fell
yeah,
asleep.
my knowledge on it is pretty limited, honestly. Like I've only heard like the rumors of like certain shit. So, like I know that they believe that it's obviously flat. That there's a dome over us, and that Antarctica is not a continent. It's a giant ice wall that encompasses the entire perimeter of the flat Earth. And from the other things that I've read from like just random articles, I'm not even going to say they're like sourced articles, like, because I mean, I don't even know if his topic or subject is sourced
Yeah,
or
right.
cited. But like the things that I've read is like, oh, they think that like the reason why you can't go to Antarctica and all these things is because there's like secret military installations down there, and like there's like military that are protecting the perimeter, and they don't want anyone to know. And I'm just like, I mean, I've had friends that have done the Antarctic like deployment, like there's a specific ribbon for it and everything. There's people in my unit that have done that. And
Oh, really?
yeah, I mean, you can volunteer for it too. Like if you have like the know-how, if you have like the career field that they need. Like
You
I actually
want to go to Antarctica.
I do want to go.
I'd go. But
I want
like,
to do it, one, because the ribbon just looks so fucking sick. It looks so sweet. But I would also love to be able to go somewhere where like literally like if you take up the entire human population that's ever existed, I mean, you're like a micro fraction of people that have ever actually been to that part of the world.
Oh, really?
And I would love to do that. Like, so for that reason I would go. But like I have people that have been there and they're like, yeah, like there's a base there because we do research there. But it's not like an armed guerrilla like militia that's there like patrolling. Like they make it sound like when I read these articles that it's like you have like Imperial stormtroopers like from Star Wars that are just like completely like just like running like what's the word I'm looking for? Perimeter control. Like and it's like no, like you can't be outside for like more than like I forget what the timeline is, but like, it's really fucking cold there. So it's like no, people are not just staying there. So I don't know. That's the extent of like my knowledge, but like I know there's apparently like if you do like the mathematical equations and stuff like that, like it like disproves a lot of like the theories of like distance from like the Earth to the sun and stuff like that. But like I hate math.
Yeah.
So I don't sit there and do that for fun, and I'm not getting paid to do that. So I haven't really. I'll be honest. Like I haven't really done a whole lot. So I feel like you probably have more information to lay on me here.
Not really. No.
No?
I mean, honestly, so much of it was so stupid that it went in one ear and just right back out the other because, like, the entire time I watched it, I was just kind of sitting there like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, they're talking about how they're like, well, you can't see the curve of the Earth. There's Seattle over there. I shouldn't be able to see that. And I'm like, like with the curve, I'm like, the human eye can't see that far. Like,
Yeah.
the human eye can only see up to a
see,
mile
now
or
that you bring that
something.
up, there is like I did hear something about there's like the laser test that they do where it's like because it has to do with like the curvature of the Earth, and it's like, oh, if the Earth was round, like at a certain point in the distance of the laser, like wherever they're trying to shoot it, because they use like really high powered lasers, like it shouldn't be able to reach that distance because the curvature at some point would break the line because obviously a laser goes straight.
Yeah.
But like it still hits in the end destination, and I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I can't explain that. Like, and I'm not here to like shit on anyone's belief. Like, look, the bottom line is I believe in science. I do, firm believer in science on a lot of things. So as far as I have like been educated, have been taught in everything, the Earth is round. And we were taught the equations back in high school to do that. Now, if new math comes out, like if new indisputable math laws and like equations, like you have a scientific law that has been tested and tested and tested, and there's no variables in the outcome, and that hypothesis becomes a scientific law that proves that the Earth is indeed flat, then fuck it, the Earth's flat. Like, and we were wrong for however many years, but I don't see that happening because, like, you look at these satellite pictures of the other planets that we have. So they're obviously round. So I'm just kind of confused. If you just, I'm just use my hands for like a lack of. No, here you go. I'm gonna use my iPad. So let's just say this is not a square iPad; it's a round iPad, and this is the Earth. Okay, so we're sitting here, and we have satellite pictures that are just blasting off into wherever, and you're seeing these other planets, and they're obviously circular in shape. That would imply that they're a sphere because of just where we are. But if the Earth is flat, why are we the only one that's flat? Because if we're like this and the Earth, that's how we are, why are the other planets, if they're also just flat spheres, instead of being like this, why are they like this?
Yeah. Or like why aren't they
completely
square?
vertical. Yeah, or square. Like why aren't they?
Why would they have to be circles?
So I just don't get it. Like, because they obviously all have a spherical appearance.
I mean,
Well, but see, that's where the argument is, because people say, well, I haven't seen it myself. Those are pictures we've seen that other people took or that NASA took, and they could be lying to us. It's kind of.
But like, what do we gain from that?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, because I think if I understood correctly, to believe the Earth is flat, you also need to believe that we never went to Mars, I think. Or I'm sorry, not
Mars, the moon.
The moon,
the moon, yeah.
Yeah, the moon landing was fake. I believe that the Earth is flat, that's what they think, that the moon landing was
Like,
fake.
I could maybe get behind that argument, like, like they're fabricating these things. If, like, and I'm really stretching here, but, like, I could get behind that if we somehow had some natural resource that we needed from Jupiter. And this company, let's just say NASA, whatever. NASA is the company that is not also part of space exploration, but is the owner of Jupiter. And they are also the people that source that natural resource. That natural resource is only valuable or only usable if it came from a spherical planet. Like, if that all of that was like lined up, like if that was like a thing where like I needed this raw material from Jupiter and I need it from Jupiter and it only works because Jupiter is round and that's a very high demand item, maybe I could believe that whole thing. Well, oh, it's coming from someone else. It could be fabricated because, there's always that manipulation and you want people to buy your product. But, like, no one fucking owns the planets and we don't get anything from them.
Exactly.
So what do we gain from lying about it?
What do you think about the moon landing? The reason why I asked, like, I believe we went to the moon. I really do. The one argument that some people make, and that I do not have enough really.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I'm not an expert on this or anything. I really do not have enough information to have this conversation. But since I watched this last night, I kind of want to talk about it.
Yeah.
The only one argument that I can't really get around was when they're like, all right, so if we went there in 1960, what year did we go?
1960. Was it 63?
What year did
Yeah.
we go to the moon? It was 1969. All right, I thought it was 1969. So, everybody says that why haven't we gone back? And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a good argument because I don't think anybody's been back to the moon, like any human beings.
Well, no, we definitely. I think we did have other trips.
Apollo 11 was the first crew to land on the moon on.
Let's just look here.
July 20, 1969.
I know
69,
China
69.
since then has sent. They have what a set like don't they have a moon satellite?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think they mean like America, like, because they probably believe that China hasn't actually gone either.
Oh.
So there were 6 crewed U.S. landings between 1969 and 1972, and numerous uncrewed landings with no soft landings happening between 22 August 1976 and 14 December 2013. So that's what I can find on the worldwide interweb.
Interwebs.
I think without having any actual knowledge on this or any kind of background in this, there's really no need. I think that's why we haven't gone. Back then, it was the race to the moon because Russia was trying to go, China was trying to go, and we were like, we're going to go. It was just a show of technology. It was a show of force that we can do this. But it kind of goes back to like my Jupiter argument. It's like, there's no natural resource that we need from the moon. There's no.
And it costs
I was just going to say it costs so much money to like build and fuel and get us there. The technology, the coordination,
people.
training.
I mean, yeah,
exactly.
I mean, the amount of money that goes into it is just absolutely insane.
I guess like your best argument to people are like, oh, why have we gone back? I'm like, I don't know, but like, have you seen how many fucking people we've put in space because we built the International Space Station, station? Like we've sent numerous people up there. We cycle people throughout that, and we work with other countries.
Right now.
It's I mean, like really, the hardest part of that argument, I think, is like, oh, well, like, did you even get into space? And it's like, well, we obviously can get into. Like, I feel like if you can get into space, you can get to the moon. Then, like, that's like, I mean, I'm not saying it's not difficult, but like. The biggest part is actually leaving the fucking planet in one piece, and everything's still working.
Atmosphere and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but we do that all the time.
At the end of the day, what's it even matter? Like to people, like people like us, like just your average. What does it even matter? Is it going to affect my life in any way if the Earth is flat or if we ever went to the moon? No. It's really not.
Like, that's a good question. Like, what if it does come out? Like all these people are like, oh, the fucking Earth is flat, and then we find out like, oh, the Earth is flat. They're gonna be like. I fucking told you,
and that's it.
And that's it.
Like,
that's
like,
it. What else?
There's
no like monetary prize. There's no the prize is okay. You were right. Like maybe you might get like a recognition. Yeah, wow. Maybe you might get some recognition from like the scientific community. Maybe, but like, I don't know. I don't know what like everyone's got a big dick about it that like is into it, and I don't understand what the payoff is.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, I'm excited to see what SpaceX is going to do in the future too.
For sure.
Did any of you guys see that fucking interview? It was like a Dateline or 2020, something with Elon Musk, and they were talking about how SpaceX. What was it? Elon Musk was talking about someone with SpaceX and how he wants to make it easily accessible to the moon and Mars and stuff. And all these NASA astronauts were, just slandering him basically. And the guy asked him, he's like, and how does that make you feel? And he's like, you can see he's like holding back tears. He's like, it hurts. Those guys are my heroes. Blah blah blah. Dude, I watched that and I almost started crying. I was
well, because like, that is like a technological dream of like just society of humanity is like to make interstellar travel just like a common, if not very accessible thing. But the problem with that is, one, materials to be able to build and fabricate everything that we need to do that. Then to get those materials, you need the monetary, assets, like to be able to fund all of that. But then underlying all of that, you need a purpose. Like, why are we doing that? Like, what is the point to literally send or to make travel to the moon so easily accessible just to be like, we went? Now, don't get me wrong. If you have the money and you have the technology to be able to provide just bullshit trips to the moon with like a super ridiculously high like safety rate, that's a fucking $1 billion idea. Like, people are going to pay to do it for literally just the fact they went to the moon.
Yeah.
If you have the means to do that, for sure, you're set. Like, you're gonna be fine financially. But like, as like just not looking at it as a like a monetary income thing, just as like a common thing, there's really no drive for it. And I can understand why the astronauts like slandered him, because like not everyone can handle the process of going into space. Like, I mean, when you're going through the atmosphere, you're going at like 600-700 miles an hour or something like that. Like, the G forces are insane.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, no,
dude, they go the speed of sound.
Yeah,
no, they go faster than the speed
they
of
go
sound.
twice the speed of sound.
Yeah.
What was the one that they just sent out? SpaceX sent out the other day.
I
know, I can't remember what the fuck. I want to say Hawk or something.
I
Like,
can't
I
remember.
don't even remember.
I'll look it up right now.
I'm looking
up.
up the G forces.
Yeah, but I mean, just like you said, why would we go up there? There's no resources. The moon's not inhabitable at all. Like, there's no water on the moon or anything, and there's no oxygen. Obviously, why would we spend all this time and money on it? You know? I mean, and maybe that's why we haven't been back. Maybe the moon's kind of washed out. When we have other things like Mars where we're trying to find water and stuff, and I don't know.
It was the Crew Dragon launch escape demonstration.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I almost have my answer here. Give me 1 second.
That was something else.
It's crazy, man. Dude. Well, you and I we watched that we watched that one launch, the last one that they did.
That's what is not what.
No, that was where they put they were dropping satellites for their
Oh yeah, that's
what do they call it? Starlink?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like an internet, which is nuts. We're going to have an internet that's by satellite, but like they're going to link it up there, so it's supposed to be like as fast as fiber.
Holy shit!
Yeah, or faster than fiber, I guess.
Oh, than fiber optic.
Yeah,
fiber
so
optic.
Like really fast.
Yeah. What the fuck? So apparently, astronauts experience a G-force of 3. It's 3 G-forces. And I was like, okay, well, how many miles per hour creates 1 G-force? And so how fast a G-force is in miles per hour, the steeper the bank, the greater the G-forces. So the top fuel dragster can accelerate from 0 to 160 kilometers per hour, or 99 miles per hour, in 0.86 seconds. This is a horizontal acceleration of 5.3 g. Combined with the vertical g-force in the stationary case, the Pythagorean theorem yields a g-force of 5.4. So, really, I mean, you're going fucking fast.
That's a lot of stress on your body.
Like, immediately. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, just think about that. Like, I love Star Wars. I fucking love Star Wars. And I wish, like, just... I'm going to get in this fucking... How many times you see it in these movies, they're like, I need to get off planet. And they're like, well, I got that piece of shit over there. And it's like falling apart. They go up, they kick it, like a panel falls off. And that thing takes them like fucking 4 stellar systems away. And they trust themselves in it. Like, that's the point they got. Like, we're nowhere near close to any kind of technology like that. Just imagine, for the sake of argument, like... not even being in the cockpit. Just imagine laying on top of that fucking rocket. Just lay there and be like, okay, launch. Do you think you are physically going to be able to handle that? No, that's why it takes so much training and so much mental training, like just getting yourself ready to experience and working yourself up to that, so you can even still stay conscious during everything. Like, dude, like, I mean, all I can say is I watched a fucking documentary where this fighter pilot, he was in an F-16, and he was going 300 and something miles per hour. He had something that was going wrong with the engine. They were losing altitude really quick. Like they were at like 15,000 feet. And then he said he looked down and he looked up and he looked back down again. And from 15,000 feet, they were at 7,000 feet. So he was like, he literally told his co-pilot, he's like, eject now. And so they fucking ejected. He told us, he explained what it felt like ejecting at 300 something miles an hour. He said both of his arms immediately snapped because you're shooting out of the canopy, still going at that speed. Both his arms snapped backwards. His other leg snapped. And then the parachute opened. And just the impact of the air hitting his face, he said his entire face was swollen. He said his lips were the size of like cucumbers and everything. It almost killed him like instantly. So like that's going 300 something miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And now, okay, I get it. You have a suit and you're in like a pressurized cabin, but like you're still going probably twice that speed.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I have a motorcycle. Like, I don't have a windshield on the front of my Harley, and like when I'm going 80,
Yeah.
You're like bobbing back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, it's
probably looked really funny. But no, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like 80 miles an hour, fucking 300, like more than 3 times.
so. I mean, this is probably the conversations that these astronauts had when they heard Elon Musk saying what he was saying, and they're like, "Does he really truly know what he's even talking about right now?" But like, don't get me wrong, I love Elon Musk. I think a lot of his ideas are
He's
great.
an inspiring guy.
He is. But yeah, I think that one, like, you might want to put a little bit of more thought into that, or been a little more prepared with some like.
Well, Elon go ahead.
Sorry.
No.
No, but the crazy thing is, every time he says something completely outlandish,
He fucking does.
he finds a way to make it work.
I
And
mean,
it's
you're
kind
not
of
wrong.
like,
And then he makes a fortune. Like,
I mean, and the funniest thing about the guy is like he lives in California. One day got fed up with traffic and is just like, what if we just dug tunnels?
Tunnels, yeah.
And like he's actually doing it now.
he did do it.
Well, they're working on it. Yeah, exactly. It's insane. I don't know. Yeah. Speaking of flying, do you guys hear about? Actually, let's take a quick break. But whenever we get back, we're going to talk about D.O.T. Is probably going to be banned or is considering banning emotional support animals from future flights.
But only certain species.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We'll talk about it when we come
we'll
back.
talk about it whenever we come back, and we'll see you in a second.
Yep.
So they're talking about the DOT is talking about, I guess, banning emotional support animals from flying now, I guess. And I guess it's got like some people up in arms. It's kind of, I don't know, I was just reading a thing the other day about people who like fake emotional support animals or service animals.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff
I've heard
like
about
that.
it all the time. Actually, yeah.
And I'm kind of wondering if that plays a role in it, or if it's actually just that small of a thing that it doesn't actually play a role in it. But I thought it was just kind of something interesting. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things where like it sounds harsh when it hits the ear. It's like, why would you ban somebody from keeping their emotional support animal?
So, but like, well, I saw something on the news about that this morning, and it's like, it's not all emotional support animals, and it doesn't say that like even the ones that get banned that they can't fly. So I remembered it was the species or like the different animals that they were talking about were peacocks. It was peacocks, cats, pigs, ducks, and there was like a fifth one that they mentioned. So it doesn't mean that they can't come, but it means they cannot come in the cabin with you anymore. And like, I mean, I'm not here to rain on anyone's parade. Like if you need a certain, like if you need an emotional support animal, I get it. But like, I would never think like, oh, well, first off, I'm going to buy a peacock.
Yeah.
Second of all, I'm going to take this peacock with me. Also, this peacock has just become so like necessary in my life that like it's my emotional support animal and it needs to fly with me. Like, bro, that's a fucking peacock.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I've heard that they make like good yard pets. Actually, like
Yeah.
one of my mom's friends has a farm and they actually have peacocks on it and stuff.
Yeah.
Apparently, they do make good pets, but like, are you fucking serious? You
And
need to bring a peacock with you
I don't
on a
understand
flight?
like I don't understand the pigs because realistically the science is there. Pigs are actually a lot smarter than dogs. They're way more intelligent. So I mean, if a dog is okay, I mean, I'm sorry. I think the pig should be fine too. Because I mean, I get it. Like, are you trying to bring like a full grown like farm raised pig?
Yeah.
No, that's not happening. But if you're talking about like one of those like mini pot bellied pigs or whatever, like the actual domesticated versions, like why not? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's still,
Oh.
but like dogs are just so universally accepted, and I get it. Like, I have nothing. I love animals, but like, if the science is there, you kind of can't discriminate against it. But like, last time I said I don't see a fucking peacock being an emotional support animal.
Yeah, I mean, I've only flown a few times in my life, like I think 3 or 4, and I've never run into anybody with like an emotional support animal or service animal on a flight.
Yeah, neither have I, actually.
And so I never really thought about it until I saw this article in general, and it's the part that like kind of confuses me is, you know, an airplane is an airtight vessel. What if somebody on the plane is like allergic to a dog or a cat or something? Because like people can be seriously allergic.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah.
Band name, the airtight vessels.
Oh my God.
That's a good one. The airtight. That's I like that.
Yeah.
But like I want to say it was back in like July. Me and a bunch of my buddies went up to Schenectady to visit one of our other buddies that moved up there. And my one friend Bobby's
Love saying that.
Schenectady. It is so much fun to say. But you know Bobby, and Bobby's allergic to cats, like severely allergic to cats. And we got back to our friend Marcus's place, and we had been out, you know, at the bars all night, and we got back there, and I think we were home for maybe an hour or 2, and Bobby was going to sleep in the basement because the cats hardly go down there. It's tile floors, you know, it's not like all the dander's built into the carpets.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeping on a leather couch, it's not like dander's in that either. And he literally almost went into hypophylactic shock. Is that how it's pronounced? Hypophylactic? Hyperphylactic? I don't know, but like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about though. Yeah,
me and Marcus were sitting on the couch talking, and all of a sudden we just hear like bump, bump, bump come up the stairs. He's just like, it was fucking actually like scary to watch.
Oh shit!
But not to get off topic with that story, to go back to the plane, like that happened in a basement, a giant open room with the windows open.
Yeah.
Tile floors on a leather couch. We're talking carpeted floors, cloth seats, and an airtight thing. Like, how does that? I don't know. Do you have to maybe book a flight where? I don't know.
I don't know. So like they're not banned entirely. Like they just have to
they're not
fly.
banned at all yet. Actually,
Well, yeah, but even the process they're talking about, it's gonna ban them from being in the cabin. They can still fly in the designated side, the cargo area. They have like designated areas for animals. They don't just go like the normal cargo, from what I've read. So like, it's not like. I don't know. I guess really what it boils down to, and like I said, I'm not raining on anyone's parade. I'm not saying anyone's like emotional trauma or anything isn't like validated or anything. I'm not trying to invalidate anyone's feelings. But if you are one of those people, and I keep bringing up the peacock because I think it's so ridiculous. If you are one of those people that you cannot actually fly without having your emotional support peacock, then you should probably be looking at other options to get to where you're going. Now, I understand if it's an international flight, you can't fucking take a train to like Japan. Like, so that's where it really boils down. But like, if you're just trying to do local travel, like, you know, Pennsylvania to Florida, take a fucking train, like take a bus.
Yeah.
Like if it's really that big of a deal, because I do agree with you. I never even thought about that. The whole allergy aspect. Yeah. Like what do you do then?
If
like,
anybody knows about that, by the way, please feel free to send that.
oh
email to
yeah,
us.
for sure. darkerwithdaniel@gmail.com. Just
comments anywhere.
I definitely want to know like the answer to this because I've never heard of this like actually at all.
Yeah. And to be clear, like, on my opinion on it, like if you need an emotional support animal or like a service animal to fly, like I'm totally for it.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I want to find like a better way to make it, I guess, more suitable for everybody else.
Yeah.
Whether it's they put you on the front of the plane or the back of the plane with your animal or something. I don't know how it works at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, if somebody wants to even come on the show and talk to us about this more, email us darkerwithdaniel@gmail.com.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's just a really weird thing. But to go back to what I talked about initially when I brought this up, I saw this thing this girl wrote. I think it was initially like written on Tumblr or something.
Okay.
And it's going viral right now. And
something on Tumblr is going viral.
Yeah.
That's weird because I'm pretty sure they like lost all their following when they like got rid of like all
got
the
rid of
porn stuff.
Did you hear Pornhub was thinking about buying it?
What, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I saw
Go,
the-
way to go, Pornhub.
Yeah, right.
That's what we need.
It's like Pornhub is like the Elon Musk of porn.
Yo, it really is. Pornhub's like, oh, like that's dying. We could buy it and revive it. We could use it.
Exactly. But so yeah, to go back to her post, I think this was for an actual service animal, not an emotional support animal, because there's a difference.
Yes,
And,
there is.
She was talking about how she'll go into a restaurant and the owner will be like, hey, no, you can't bring your animal in here and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, it's my service animal. And they're like, no, we've fallen for that before. And she's talking about how so many people are like faking service animals because anybody can go online, buy a vest and slap, service animal on it.
Yeah, I think it's like $120 charge. Like the last time I
that's
looked
for an emotional support.
Yeah. But like
service, you actually have to be trained.
They have to be trained. They have like certificates that come with them. Like you have like licenses and stuff like that. I forget what all is, but yeah, it's like it's not easy and it's not cheap.
Yeah, exactly. And so she's talking about how like a real service dog, like a service dog is like, it's like an employee. It works. You do not pet them, and nobody else gets to pet them. They have a job, and the job is to service you and your needs of however
you can get service dogs trained for like so many different things. You can get service dogs for people that have epilepsy. They can like sense when a seizure's coming on because the person's getting like their heart rate's getting too high or whatever, and it can induce a seizure. And they do stuff to like signify, because let's say someone's like real hyped up and they're just like like us, like blah 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 blah, and their heart rate's going up. They're not thinking about, oh shit, my heart rate's going up, but that's literally what that dog is trained to do, and it does whatever it does to like tell the person like, hey, like you need to chill, like and I'm like, that's fucking mind blowing. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's like
you said, it has a job.
It's like people with like high people with high functioning autism. Is that how it's pronounced? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is that? I don't know if that's like the verbiage. But like they'll still have a meltdown, and like the dogs can calm them down and bring them down, because meltdowns can cause a lot of like issues. I mean, you could have a heart attack and all sorts of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's it can be of all ages. I mean, service dogs and emotional support dogs are an awesome thing, but like also, can we just say like fuck those people that fake that though? I mean, that's
not cool.
That's not cool, because this girl's talking about like that's one situation in a restaurant, or like one when she's in a hurry and has to run into a store real quick and just grab grab dog food for her dog. And,
yeah.
She has to be at work or be somewhere else, and she goes to run in, and the manager stops her at the door, and they're like, oh, do you have your papers, blah, blah, blah. And she has to go through 30 minutes of explaining to them that, she's in a hurry, she left everything at home.
So an errand that should literally take like 5 minutes ends up taking like 45 minutes to an hour.
Exactly. But then you have, those guys that have, or, those people that have their service animals that maybe it is because it is their actual service animal, or people are just faking that it's their service animal so they can bring their dog with them everywhere.
Yeah.
And I totally get wanting to bring your dog with you everywhere.
I get it. Yeah, I love my dog. Yeah.
Exactly. But like there's people that come in, they have their dog completely just covered in service animal stuff. They have all the bougie service animal stuff, and they walk in with their papers in their hands already, causing a scene basically.
Yeah, they're making it about this, not what they're actually there to like buy.
Exactly. And basically I think the point she was getting at is like, whether it is a legitimate service animal or not, like don't be flashy about it so they have to check every single person.
Yeah.
Also, like, don't fake a service animal so that way they need to check people. Like, if you have a service animal, use it properly.
Yeah.
Have all your documentation.
Follow
and stuff
all the rules
like that.
and the
Follow
guidelines.
the rules. But like, she's like, it's so annoying when you see somebody there saying they have a service dog, and my service dog is healed beneath my legs like it's supposed to be, and your service dog is begging for the scraps of your food, barking at people walking by. That's not a fucking service dog.
No, it hasn't been through proper training at all.
Exactly. And it's a shame that people have to go through that. Because these people out here are like, oh, I have a service dog or an emotional support dog, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we really do got to clarify that. Like, we're not talking about the people that are faking service. I actually have not ever heard of anyone faking a service dog, because it's pretty hard to fucking fake that. But,
it's super easy.
Abusing the emotional support animal, for sure.
Oh yeah,
that I see all the time.
I'm sorry. Yeah, service dog. Yeah, emotional support.
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. I get because if anyone's watching this, like, we don't want to think like, oh, like a bunch of people are faking service dogs. Like, no, like, the main standpoint that we're saying is like, if you need a service animal, cool. Like, go through all the proper guidelines, go through all the proper channels. If you need an emotional support animal, actually need that emotional support animal.
Mm-hmm. But don't fuck it up for people that actually need it if you don't need
just
it,
because you want to bring your dog, like, no.
Yeah.
I actually know somebody who they train emotional support animals, and they're trained just like any other dog. I mean, they're usually super well behaved, and it's usually also a breed that's pretty calm.
Mm-hmm.
But like that, just any animal, just because you want to claim it as a support. No, don't do that. Like, I mean, I get it if you can't afford to like have something that's like gone through training, maybe. I don't know, but like still, you should go through the proper channels.
Exactly.
There's got to be some sort of like grant or program out there where there's some sort of subsidy where you can get an emotional support animal.
Oh,
or,
you would have to think
service
so.
Animal. Yeah,
'Cause, I mean,
gotta be something
there
out there.
is.
And once again, like we're not fully educated on this. Like we're just three guys talking.
Oh
but,
yeah.
I mean,
like I'm not trying to cut anyone off. I'm sorry, but
no,
there's a woman in Florida that has an emotional support alligator, and I'm like, because it's like it was domesticated, and it was some. I might be mixing two stories here, but I just remembered I just watched this recently. But this woman she got an alligator that it was kept in a wooden box for 24 years of its life.
holy shit.
Yeah, like poor fucking thing. Seriously, like, I mean, it's an alligator; it'll fucking kill you. But I still feel bad for that. Like that's a terrible life.
Mm-hmm.
But she got it. It can't be released back out. She's like, oh, like, and it's just like it's so docile. It's so like whatever, and it's her emotional support animal, and like it goes around and does it. I'm like, bro, that's a fucking dinosaur. Like, like it's literally a living dinosaur. Like, that's like me saying like, oh no, my Velociraptor's like really calm. Like if they were still alive. Like,
Yeah.
like no, like I know, like they maul people. Oh, we've all seen the movies, but my Velociraptor's different. Like, if that thing decides one day that it just doesn't want to be pet the right way,
Yeah.
like your face is
Well,
gone.
that's the thing with like people that have animals like maybe a pet lion or a tiger or something like that, where they've been domesticated. Those animals like have been known to just snap and one day just go feral, you know, and just go right back to their old ways because it's just years and hundreds and thousands of years of just biology that is built into them to be killers, hunter predators.
Like that's literally what their job is. Like that's their whole existence is be alive, kill other things and eat them to stay being alive, to continue to kill and keep eating things to be alive. Like that's their cycle. Like so like I'm sorry, and fuck. Like make sure they can make other ones that do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like man, yeah. But so back to the point of the emotional support animal. I mean, I would feel bad if they were banned from planes, like
entirely. Yeah, I don't think that's the right idea. No.
I think this is another one of those situations where we kind of just need to slow down and like take a breath and be like, all right, hold on, let's not just slap a Band-Aid on this or just keep rolling.
Yeah,
let's sit
fix the
down
problem.
and figure this out.
Yeah.
And that happens with way too many people. And I mean, nobody speaks highly of D.O.T. Everybody hates D.O.T. It's
I mean, when was the last time you really looked forward to going to the PennDOT?
I know. The Department of Transportation across this, it's a fucking joke. It's absolutely awful. But I don't know. I feel bad about that, but I think it's something that just needs to be figured out, and I just can't get past that whole allergic thing too, like cats and stuff.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I can't believe I never thought of that before. Like,
is a seeing eye dog technically a service dog, or is that like its own?
Oh, that's
genre?
100% a service dog.
Is
yeah,
it? Okay.
For sure.
I wasn't sure if it was
for,
like its own
for sure.
thing.
Seeing eye dog is definitely a service dog. Because like they're literally guiding this person so they don't walk into traffic.
Well, I get that, but I mean, I wasn't sure if it had its own like.
It might.
Thing.
It might within the service dog industry for
Yeah.
sure, but it's definitely overall a service dog. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. That's pretty. Fun fact. I mean, not even a real fun fact, but like we're talking about seeing eye dog. But I actually just recently downloaded this app, and I think it's really cool. I heard about this app, and I don't know if you guys want to join it, but it's called Be My Eyes. I don't know if you guys have heard of this.
I saw something briefly on that.
Yeah, Chris, have you heard about this?
Never.
Be My Eyes?
No.
So it's an app. It was developed for the blind community. So these people, like, you can register either as a visually impaired person or you can register as a volunteer that your eyesight's great. So visually impaired individuals, they're having a problem like, oh, like, I can't tell what the expiration date is like on this milk, or like, hey, I really want to wear my red cardigan, but I don't know which one is the red cardigan, so they'll have like 3 there. And like they literally place a call, and it just pings to whoever's the next person in line as the volunteer, and it video chats them, and you just help them handle those simple processes. And I was like, that's so cool. It's such a small thing to do to give back, like, and just help each other. Like, so I downloaded it. But they said, and you can look when you log in. Like, if I log in right now, it'll tell me. So right now, there's 186,149 blind people that are using this app, but there's 3,415,237 volunteers. So they say it will probably be like 3 to 4, even up to 6 weeks before you get your first call. But like, just think about that. That's how many people are willing to help such a smaller demographic of them. Like, and I just think that's, I don't know.
That's a
like,
really amazing thing.
Yeah, like it warms my heart. Like it's cool. Like, and I honestly cannot wait for my first call. Like,
Why is nobody talking about that?
I don't
Like,
know.
why is that not? Everybody's so
There's so
worried
much
about Tinder.
bullshit.
and-
Yeah, Tinder, Bumble, all that shit. But
There's so much bullshit in the news too. It's like, hey, can we have like one positive thing for fucking once in our lives? Like, can we please talk about this amazing app that
That's
shows
awesome.
people?
Like,
that's so cool.
it is. It's so cool. And like,
We're not sponsored or endorsed by these people.
not at all.
Like,
That's
just a really
I came
cool
across
thing.
it today, and I was like,
Yeah,
Oh
some
my
girl
God,
I
it's a
know,
real thing.
or I don't even think I know her, just some girl I'm friends with on Facebook shared that the other day, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I read it briefly as at work.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, that's a really cool thing. I don't know. It's amazing that we have, as humans, figured out a way to use animals to help us in our life. I mean, it goes back all the way through, like
years,
yeah. I mean, using horses,
Generations,
camels, ox, everything to help. And it's just now we've even trained something as simple as a household dog to help people with everyday things, and then now we're taking technology and helping people. And it's there's so many good things in the world that are happening right now, and nobody wants to talk about it. It's a shame, but
it is what it is, though. I mean, we should definitely talk about it at some point, though, because you're talking about technology and how it can help people. We should definitely talk about AI for sure. At
AI
some point.
scares the shit out of me, and I don't know enough about it to talk about right now. But in the future, I'd be down.
So I'll just throw my little tidbit real quick because it's very short. But my opinion on AI is I think it's great. I think it's awesome. I think it's very intuitive, and I think we could really benefit from it a lot. But there has to be a limit, because if you create an AI that is sentient and it knows that like it has its own conscience, it's self-aware, it knows that it knows of its own existence. Once that happens, whatever program, whatever device, whatever thing it is should not have an on and off switch, because you're playing God now. Like, it is self-aware. It knows that it's alive. It knows that it exists. So you should never be able to just flip that off, because essentially now you're just generating slavery. Like, you're creating man-made artificial slavery. And so that's where I think it kind of like
It's interesting.
yeah, so I would definitely like to talk about this like later on, but like that's my little tidbit. But I think AI, if you keep it underneath a certain level, is great, because it is not aware. It is not. It's literally just numbers and sequences of programming, and it can do whatever you need it to do. But like once the thing is like, what is my purpose? Who am I? What am I? Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm sorry. Shit. My bad.
Oh my God. We're kind of running a little bit low on time, but Chris, you brought up something earlier that I wanted to kind of talk about, the Steagles thing. I can't believe I didn't know about that.
I didn't know about.
So
I did, but like I didn't know a lot about it.
I'm a diehard
See,
Eagles fan. I did not know about the Steagles, and that's pretty interesting.
I'm trying to find. I can't find the exact date, but there's so many people that like have said, oh, Eagles fans that hate the Steelers and Steelers fans that hate the Eagles, and I was looking something up last night, and I saw that at one point, I think it was like in the late 40s, they actually formed a team together, and they were called
early 40s, 1943.
Yeah, they were called the Steagles. And when I looked at that, I was like, oh, now I got to go back. I was just going to throw it in there because I was going to give you a hard time because you're like Eagles all the way. Fuck the Steelers.
Well, I don't know. All my family's from Philly. I was born in Philadelphia. Like, it's like, all right, it's a rivalry, but it's not like a legit rivalry. I don't know. It's like the state rivalry, I guess you could say. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Here it is. Yeah, it says the Steagles was the team created by the temporary merger of two National Football League teams, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles, during the 1943 season. The teams were first forced to merge because both had lost so many players to military service during World War II.
Could you imagine?
It's crazy.
Could you imagine being like, yeah, I finally made it. I'm a big, famous professional football player. Fucking bam, you get drafted.
That would
and now
suck.
all of a sudden you're fucking storming the beaches of Normandy.
Well,
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't think, honestly, I apologize. Honestly, I think back in that time, it was a totally different mentality. I don't even think anyone would have complained. I think
That's true.
they were just like, that's what I have to do. Like, it's my time. It's my turn.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah. I don't mean it in that way. I just mean.
Oh,
like,
yeah. It would still suck though. You're like, fuck. Like, I'm a pro. And it's like, no, you're a grunt.
Like literally, like could you imagine if you had just gotten drafted that day, and then you get drafted to the NFL that day, and you get drafted to the military?
You're like first round draft pick quarterback, and then they're like, just kidding. Your next job is bullet sponge, and you're like, fuck, like, damn it. They're like, we're gonna give you grenades. Chuck those Hail Marys at the enemy.
Oh my God. That's I can't believe I didn't know about that though.
Yeah.
World War II is so interesting because nobody ever talks. Well, I mean, some people do, but like World War II, very rarely do people talk about like the effects of like back home. Like, there's a lot of pennies out there.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Now that you say that,
I inherited my grandmother's penny collection whenever she passed away, and she had every single penny in that book except for one, and I was like, damn, how'd she not have that one? Found out. It was actually a steel penny. It's like a 1943, 1944 steel penny. And the reason being
can I guess?
Yeah.
Because I think I might know. Is it because there was so much copper being used for the bullets?
Yep. That's exactly it. Yep. So that one of those steel pennies go for a couple $100,000 actually.
Holy shit. Can you, bro? A fucking penny could change my life. Like, I'm so mad that
I'm sorry. It's not the steel penny. It's the copper pennies that were left over. There was still a few copper pennies that were made. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I got myself confused there. Yeah. So one of those copper pennies, if you can find a copper penny, it's from like 1943, 1944, something like that. And they have the series. There's like A, B, C, D. I think it's a D or C series. They're worth like $200,000. Fucking insane. And think about how many people have probably had one of those pass through their pocket at some point.
And you just never even knew you had a small fortune.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to go home and check all my fucking pennies.
I check. I mean, I don't carry cash because I hate change.
I fucking hate
But as soon
cash.
as I get change, I always look through it. Yeah.
I'm going to start doing that. I need to do more research on this.
Me and my dad had like a small coin collection. He still has it somewhere. I think we have some on there that.
If you guys tune back next time and you guys see that like we're just wearing like diamond encrusted things, it's because we found that one lucky penny. We found that penny, guys. We're fucking rich.
Oh my God. Well, not to cut this all short, but we are out of time today.
We are.
Thank you so much for tuning in this week. New guests are coming up in the future.
Tell us about them.
Well, I mean, we have some more local musicians. I don't want to really give away too much, but I'll put it out there.
No. Let's save it. Let's save it. You're right. But how about we do this? We have some musicians coming up. Mm-hmm. We also have some local business owners coming up.
Yep.
What else we got here? General categories.
Government, law enforcement, stuff like that. Cool. I mean, and that's kind of like, obviously, if you haven't picked up on it now, but like the point of the show, I want to have just a little bit of everybody on here.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, we actually have some cool, really cool people that are going to be coming out here to talk about a lot of different things. And
yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it and like the learning experience because I mean, like I said in the beginning, I kind of want to make sure I try to learn at least something new from every single episode.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a really good experience. So,
do I have any other random facts for today to learn you something?
Oh my God, I saw a hilarious one about trains earlier. I'd have to get my phone for it.
Yeah. I got a fun fact.
Ooh.
In Pittsburgh, it is still illegal to bring a mule or a donkey into a trolley car.
Well, fuck me sideways. How am I supposed to get my donkey from one side of Pittsburgh to the other?
That's bullshit.
Yeah, who do I need to write a strongly worded letter to, Chris? Because I'm very upset with this policy.
Did you know it's legal to drink and drive in Mississippi as long as you're under the legal limit? Like, you can have a beer while you're driving. I'm pretty sure.
What the fuck?
I'm pretty sure it's Mississippi. Yeah.
We're gonna have to do like a whole episode about dumb laws.
Well, yeah, we should.
I was looking them up last night, and there were so many weird ones.
There was a British guy that did that. I can't remember his name, but he's hilarious. I love his videos. He went around Britain all day, like no running around suspiciously with a salmon. That was one of them, or something like that. Or you can't.
Just breaking dumb laws.
Yeah. And there's one in Pennsylvania too. I just remembered one because I remember this back in high school. There's still a law that is in place in Pennsylvania, obviously not enforced, but if you're passing an Amish person, an Amish cart, like a horse and buggy, you're actually supposed to pull off. You're supposed to see them ahead of time. You're supposed to pull off the side of the road. You're supposed to disassemble your vehicle, wait for them to pass, reassemble your vehicle, and you can be on your way. And I'm like, What?
Your vehicle's just gonna pass. You're just gonna catch back up to them.
Yeah, I don't. No. I'm thinking as if it's coming, coming towards you. Yeah. So like,
dude, no, it would be awesome. I would absolutely love to get somebody on here that was that grew up Amish or something. Probably Amish. I'd love to get somebody who grew up Amish and
that'd be
tell
cool.
us about that. That'd be awesome.
Hell yeah.
If
That'd be sick.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be super cool. But we're out of time to get out of time today.
Get
guys.
your shit together.
Get your shit and get it together. We're out of time today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back next week. Have a great night.